Hello from Mobile World Congress 2023. I'm here together with Stephen Moore, Head of Climate Action at GSMA. Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Stephen, how does unreliable energy supplies affect, let's say, economy and operators and as well connectivity? We see it especially in the sub-Saharan region. We have South Africa, we have Zimbabwe, all struggling from load shedding, etc., etc. So what is your take on that and your, let's say, your overview?
It's a big issue, it's a big challenge, and we've recently done some research interviewing mobile network operators in the region to understand how load shedding and how a lack of a reliable grid is affecting them. And what the research has shown is that at least half of them are experiencing brownouts, blackouts, and interruption to their energy supply every day. And that those interruptions can last for several hours. So what this has meant as a consequence is that operators are having to install more backup diesel generators in order to counterbalance the unreliability of energy supply. And secure the network and secure connectivity, which is so vital because they want to offer an uninterrupted, reliable service for mobile, but they have these energy challenges.
Right, thank you. When we see connectivity as a driving development factor in the market, so I think a few weeks ago, Vodacom signed a historical agreement with Eskom, where they say, okay, so we want to join virtual wheeling. So that was a common agreement they had, which could be kind of a blueprint or template also for other corporates in the countries to try to solve the issue. So how do you see that as a driving factor to, let's say, probably get rid even of these outages?
So I think this is a huge step forward. It really is. And it's a wonderful example that I really hope will be replicated in other countries. So Vodacom has engaged extremely proactively with both the government and with the national energy company in Eskom. And by achieving this pilot agreement to have virtual wheeling, it means that they will be able to directly invest into new renewable energy capacity. And we know that renewables is the future. It's the future of energy for sub-Saharan Africa, as it is in every other part of the world. And what Vodacom has managed to do is unlock this mechanism, which won't just be used by other mobile network operators and Vodacom. Like you say, it can be used by other corporates. And that's where the investment is going to come from. There are many, many companies that have climate targets, and they need to buy renewables in order to meet their targets. So they are active, willing buyers of renewable energy.
So when we see energy supply in those countries, where do you see the role of the public sector also to solve that? Because here we talk about Vodacom, which is actually a private sector, trying to manage something where they actually should have the resources from an original source already.
Yes, I think this is where public-private partnership can really come together, because the way energy markets are structured in many countries in the region mean that it's actually not possible for private corporates to invest directly to buy renewable energy. So what we need to see is an actual change to the energy market. We need to see a liberalization of the energy market, a change to energy policy in those countries, so that we can unlock this private investment into renewables. And I think we're going to be able to take the example that Vodacom has achieved with Eskom in South Africa and use that as perhaps a template, perhaps a blueprint for other countries to show what can be achieved.
All right, thank you. So when we see geographically, sub-Saharan region is also very, let's say, lucky with a lot of sun. So how do you see how can renewable energies also affect the whole economy and also to help businesses and the operators to overcome those issues?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the region has 60% of the world's solar resources, but it only has 1% of installed solar capacity. So there is huge potential across the region. And the fact is that actually investing in deploying solar energy, wind energy, it creates jobs. It actually creates more jobs than deploying, say, a coal-fired power station or a gas-fired power station. So I think there is a really positive story to tell here. We can drive green growth through investment in renewables, and also we'll be helping to solve this unreliable energy issues across the grid. And we'll, if we can extend grids as well, we can extend connectivity, and then we can help reduce the usage gap as well to get more people online and experience the benefits of being connected to the internet.
So you would say today, which is actually opposite, energy supply also is one main pillar who is affecting actually connectivity in the market.
It's definitely one of them. We've actually seen in some countries there are now more people that are connected to mobile than are connected to the grid, than to energy. So that's quite striking, because I think actually there's been huge investment in mobile infrastructure, and mobile connectivity and networks have expanded, but actually we're now seeing them expanding faster than grids. So I think the electricity grids do need to catch up, and they actually go hand in hand. They're good partners for each other.
Yeah. So when we see the operators, which is a quite close industry sector to you, when we see a Vodacom who has their commitment to completely turn everything into green energy over the next 3 years, do you think that all operators equally taking action and understood the seriousness of this topic?
I think many operators are, certainly most of the largest operators in the region have got long-term commitments to reach net zero by 2050 or before. And many of them have got science-based carbon reduction targets to effectively halve their emissions over the next 10 years. So, access to renewable energy is going to be vital for them to achieve their climate targets.
Do you see that they actually take action based on your report? I haven't read it so far, out of curiosity.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to. So I think they're looking to understand where they can deploy on-site renewable technology.
Yeah.
So this would be solar panels, this would be battery backup. But it's not possible to do that everywhere. And actually that's probably only going to solve, say, less than 5% of the total energy needs of the network, because we don't own huge amounts of land. So really, network operators are reliant on the grid. We really do rely on the grid to supply energy to power networks. And we would much prefer to have decarbonized, clean energy from the grid than having to rely on diesel generators.
All right, thank you. Based on your report, what would you say is the outlook, or what is, let's say, the more positive perspective for the next years? Or do you see, okay, we probably still need to unlock some of the operators or some of the opportunities like we have it in the general connectivity topic, where we're still struggling to connect the people?
Yeah, I think, we're going to be launching this report, and afterwards we're actually going to have a roundtable, bring together operators, bring together other key stakeholders, and think, what more can we do next? So we've done this report, we've got the research findings. Are there perhaps particular countries we could target for deeper engagement? And I think that would really help drive things forward. But we know from research that the International Energy Agency has done that we could easily double the amount of renewable capacity across the region by 2030. And that would mean actually 2/3 of the way that electricity produced is from clean energy by 2030. So I think that's the target that we really need to be driving towards.
So we can say that GSMA really is taking this topic serious, put it on the agenda, bringing the people together, having the necessary conversations to, let's say, drive forward.
Very much so, yeah. I mean, we have a global climate action task force. It now has 64 mobile network operators in, many operators from across the African region, and they all want to collaborate and they all want to push forward. We have more than 60 of them have these near-term climate targets. So yes, we absolutely want to work together and drive down carbon emissions.
All right, thank you very much. It's very insightful. Thanks for your time.
Much.
It was Tech Africa News from Mobile World Congress in Kigali. You can find more on techafricanews.com. See you there.